digital was an ancillary medium for very long.
Right.
I would be honest now, we should stop actually prefixing marketing by digital. There cannot be any marketing without digital. So that's how it has evolved. It's now mainstream. See, I know as I say that now digital is mainstream and digital is marketing. Trends are primarily evolutions of certain pillars that are fundamental to anything, any practice. So in marketing, what are fundamentals? I mean, one is that you need to know the customer, right? So that's data. Okay. You need to have a way of reaching out to him and her. So that's channels, right? And thirdly, you need to have a way of engaging with him or her. That is content, right? So these are the fundamentals, and as you know, these fundamentals evolve, right? Trends happen, right? So currently, I think the three big, large buckets that we are seeing a lot of action in is one is data. Data is becoming much more refined, much more powerful, which allows us to target precisely. So that's one thing. The second thing is automation, right? So while you have targeting, automation allows you to really personalize and contextualize all the content that you're putting out there, or the messages that you're putting out there, or any promotion that you're putting out there. That would not have been, kind of possible without automation. And we can largely call it marketing automation or technology automation, right? And the third is content. Now, content, now no longer is just a TVC or a film, right? It has become contextual, it's become real, right? And hence, I would rather say that the real trend in content is serving useful content, right? The customer is not interested in hard sell or product knowledge. He's interested in content that is useful and relevant to him. So those are the three large, kind of trends that I'm seeing in digital marketing. See, I think the human race or any community needs certain events and certain happenings and incidents to galvanize itself. Right? We always look for the next big event. So, from a marketeer's point of view, the general elections or the World Cup are these two big, large happenings that are relevant and that people have stake in, and hence they get engaged in it, right? So whenever these things happen, a few things happen, right? There's a large swell of information and interest in that information. There's a large kind of momentum towards participation and sharing of that information, and then having opinions and comments about it. So there's a natural momentum of a swell that happens during these kind of events, right? Now, brands, would love to participate in this natural swell, and digital, of course, facilitates this, better than anything else, right? The only thing that what brands have to be careful of is, to be relevant in the context of those, two events that happen, right? Now, what I've seen, between the general elections and the World Cup is that all brands are hoping that they catch the wind of this momentum and it does something for their brand a little more naturally than being, hardworking with the media budget. Again, as I was mentioning earlier, digital fundamentally allows you to personalize and contextualize, right? Language at times, and most times, is a barrier, and sometimes technology is a barrier. Now, technology is becoming so ubiquitous, right? It is everywhere and it's so easy to use that no longer is becoming a barrier, it's almost invisible, right? So now we're just left with being able to relate to and include those audiences who are on these platforms and technology and diffuse this whole barrier of language that is there, right? So vernacular is here to stay, for sure, because if you're not contextual to the region or to the language, you are most probably losing out that audiences vis-a-vis some other brands which are engaging with them in their way of engaging, right? I do believe that these platforms are here to stay. What are these platforms essentially? It's not that something that terribly new, but it's some social platforms that we've seen in the past, in an evolved way, right? So let's take the example of TikTok. What does TikTok allow you to do? TikTok gives you the tools to create, to co-create, to respond, to participate, to share, and even if you are an individual, to practically become a celebrity, right? That's one part of TikTok. The second part is that it is inclusive, right? It is not elitist. It is not only for a few, right? Anybody and everybody can create that kind of content. At the same time, because there is a swell of this content, again, of this nature, there is a lot of participation from the tier 2 and the tier 3 cities because they are now finding content that is relevant to them, that is engaging to them, that is entertaining to them, and not, just a slice of some content which they may not necessarily relate to, right? And hence, when this happens, you see a lot of participation, and when a lot of participation happens, brands want to be there where consumers are, right? So to that extent, I think these platforms which make connecting and creating easier and inclusive are here to stay. See, because I do believe that now digital is marketing and social is marketing, and it is not social marketing or digital marketing, right? I would like to see work that kind of performs on KPIs, and I would want to see KPIs that create business impact, right? So it's not just about performing on KPIs, but performing on KPIs that create business impact. That's the kind of work I'm hoping to see. I think these awards are a fantastic way to showcase work that you would have done which has impacted your client and helped your client. If you haven't yet sent in your entries, don't miss this. Do it now.